Scoodly doodly doo, it's time for another Welch review.
Avita Zane. No,
that means see you till we meet again.
Oh. Well, hello, it's the Welch review, yeah. It's Stefan and Sam. I'm Sam, that's Stefan.
That's my name.
Yeah. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about an amazing film called John Wick, the third. I don't know if it's amazing, but it's pretty good.
As far as, like, action franchises go, like, it's still, like, you know, holding up. You know, it's still trying to be fresh while, adhering to the iterations that have come prior to it. So yeah, man.
Yeah, like it's good.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, okay, so Keanu Reeves is in it. Is anybody somebody who deserved another shot is in it.
If you saw our last video, we talked about Halle Berry, and Halle Berry definitely showcases what she's capable of in an action movie as Miss Sophia, who you know, seems to be a compatriot of John Wick from the past. You also have Ian McShane reprising his role of Winston, Lawrence Fishburne reprising his role as the Bowery King, Mark Dacascos as Zero, Asia Kate Dillon as the Adjudicator, Lance Reddick reprising his role as Sharon, Angelica Houston as the Ballet Director, Said Tigmawi as the Elder, and Jerome Flynn, better known as Bronn from Game of Thrones, as Barada. And this was directed by one of the original directors, Chad Stahelski, and it was written by Shay Hatton and Derek Kolstad.
Chad.
Chad.
Bad name.
So, you know, in this John Wick Chapter 3, right, picking up right after 2, he had just killed that gentleman in the Continental, and he was a member of the High Table.
Yep.
And so he was excommunicado, and now he's running for his life. And Winston was gracious enough to give him an hour head start before the contract went out.
Yeah, so he's got this hour, and he's running around. He's trying to find somebody to help patch him up. And then he shoots that guy, because if he didn't shoot him, that guy would be like, "Oh, well, everybody would know that I helped you, and unless you shoot me, then, you know, they're gonna think that I did it willingly." So he shot him.
But it's cool, like, these characters, though, they still have, even though they know, oh, John Wick's, like, excommunicado, they're still like, oh, shit, John Wick's here, like, I'm totally gonna help him.
Yeah, that's my boy. So John Wick's on the run, and then eventually, there's this dude who he owes a debt to. Or am I mixing up my Wicks?
No, that's the second movie.
Dang it!
He owes Salvatore Dentino, he owns...
Yeah, so he doesn't, never mind. What he does do, however, is he goes and talks to some gypsy-ass Russians, and he's like, hey, get me to what's
he's trying to find the Elder, right? So the guy who had a say in the creation of the High Table and the Continental and all this underworld rulings, right? Hopefully help straighten things out.
Yeah, but where does the gypsy lady help him? Because she gives him safe passage.
Oh no, that's his backstory. So he has to go back. So he comes from like Russia, like gypsy ass Russians from Russia. So he goes back there to like the people who brought him over to this country.
Yeah, to help him get safe passage to go to see Sophia.
Right?
Yeah, so but where's Sophia? Do we know?
She's in the Middle East.
Okay, so we don't know exactly.
She's like in Turkey.
Okay, all right, cool. So yeah, so he goes to see Sophia because that's like his only homie.
Yeah, and she owes him, right? She has one of those, like, essentially a blood debt. Like, hey, you owe me, that's your mark, now you're gonna do this favor for me, which is to bring me to your boss, so hopefully he can point me in the direction of someone who can help straighten this out.
Yeah.
Obviously, that goes south real quick. Guns come out, and dogs are in this too.
Well, yeah, she has a bunch of... If you've ever seen Stand By Me, and there's the phrase... Chopper sick balls. Well, she literally... Like, I mean, it's not Chopper sick balls, but her dogs literally bite people in the dick multiple times. Like, multiple times throughout this film. And it just seems like a very painful, bad time to be a stuntman.
It does. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, her dogs are scary. They can work together. There's a scene where she does the thing where she makes her back a table and then the dog jumps off of her back and bites the guy in the dick. Yeah. Like, that's what I mean. Like, Her dogs are scary.
Like the fight choreography, you know, because the director of John Wick, Chad Stahelski, right? Or I might pronounce it wrong, whatever. Those guys, like those dudes, they are stuntmen. So like this is their bread and butter, and like the fight sequences, I feel like from each movie, they just get upped. You know what I mean?
Well, they kind of gotta.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. They have to, but like they don't do it. They don't like half-ass it. You know what I mean? Like they're like, hey, this is how we're gonna do it. This is how we're gonna make it look real.
Yeah.
You know, and they execute it very flawlessly. And like, I wish Catwoman like had Halle Berry doing this kind of stuff in it, and it would have been like a much better like, you know, thief vigilante, you know, revenge film.
So.
But anyhow.
Yeah, so we got all that going on in the Middle East. But then back in New York, the high table's coming around. They're like, why'd you give John Wick an hour?
Right, the adjudicator comes down, like Sam's saying, for the high table, interrogating Winston. Like, yo, why'd you do this? Winston's like, you know, I did it because I can do it, you know? And then she recruits this assassin to, like, help execute as her muscle, right? And that is Mark Dacascos, who is Zero, right? Who is another kind of really cool, complex killer like John, but he's now being an enforcer for the adjudicator in the high table. So they go to Winston, and his penance is they take away the Continental from him. They go to the Bowery King, so Lawrence Fishburne, and then he has to get 7 cuts from a katana. You know, so they're going to people who John, in the second movie, had, like, you know...
His friends.
His friends. I don't know why I didn't just say that. So they go to his friends and take out, you know, their agitation and anger toward John on them.
Yeah, and not only that, so they're taking away the hotel from Winston, and at that same time, Winston decides, like, hey... I'm gonna play it on the low that I'm just gonna give up my thing because the high table said so, but on the real, I'm gonna go and talk with my friend John, and we're gonna team up to take down the high table. So the movie very quickly shifts. It's a series of backstabs, really. Yeah. It starts with Winston kind of stabbing John in the back, not exactly, like he gives him a little bit of wiggle room. And then Winston stabs the high table in the back. And then there's another backstab, and I'm not going to say who or what or who, you know, what goes down.
Yeah, that part will be for you to watch. Just know, like, the end. The end of the movie is strictly, done to set up part 4.
For sure.
Which is coming. And I believe... Keanu Reeves is dropping Matrix 4 and John Wick 4 like on the same day in the same year.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like there's a big year, I think it's 2022.
The Wickening.
The Wickening that's happening for Keanu Reeves. But anyway, all of this ultimately leads to like more beautifully executed fight sequences. There is, up to the final showdown in the Continental, there is a fight sequence between John Wick and Zero, so Mark Dacascos, and like some of the henchmen, and like I feel like they're fighting John, and then they help him up, and then they fight some more, and they help him up, and like it's like, why, like, you are shitty bad guys.
Yeah,
you know?
It's real Dragon Ball Z, like, oh, you want to power up right now? Yeah, go ahead, bud, that's okay.
Yeah, like they're waiting, they're like, you're not John Wick, man, come on, be John Wick, then fight us. You know, when they could have easily just killed him, but obviously it's, you know, a plot device. So.
Yeah. I mean, it makes, like, some very little sense because, you know, if they're going to kill John Wick, they want, like, the bragging rights.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're using katanas, and John Wick is, like, using a belt. So it's like, I don't know, man, there's 2 of you with katanas, and he has a belt, and you're trained assassins from the Triad, and, you know, he's also a trained assassin, but it seems like a bit of a power difference. So... John Wick 3, very interesting time.
It's definitely a good installment in the series. You know, they keep the ending alone. You know, you're like, wait, what? Like, you might not see it coming. I certainly didn't, but it's got me very interested for Chapter 4 and beyond. So, if you haven't seen it, pick it up, give it a watch. You won't regret it.
Unless you don't like action movies. Then you'll regret. This is an action movie. Alright, hold on. This has been the Welch Review. We'll see you shortly.